The Justice Department announced plans to monitor federal voting rights laws in 64 counties nationwide, including 5 right here in Arizona. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Sean Mooney.
And I'm Angelique Lazardi.
And on this election eve, the Department of Justice and the FBI announcing they have identified 24 states to be among the top states for threats to election officials and poll workers.
News 4 Tucson's Lupita Murillo is live downtown at one of the early voting locations with the latest information. Lupita, what can you tell us?
Angelique, I can tell you that while Arizona is mentioned by the DOJ, the people who came to this voting center to drop off their mail-in ballots or voted didn't feel threatened at all.
I'm a Republican.
Did you feel intimidated or anything?
No, I didn't.
Joey Trujillo is 96 years old and says he's been voting since he was 18, dating back to when Calvin Coolidge was president. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, they will be monitoring polls in 24 states for compliance with federal voting rights laws. There are 5 Arizona counties on the list: Maricopa, Navajo, Pima, Pinal, and Yavapai counties. Bonnie Heidler is chair of the Pima County Democratic Party. She says it's a shame the Department of Justice has to get involved.
People should not feel intimidated by casting their ballot and making their voice heard.
But County Board of Supervisor Steve Christie, a Republican, tells News 4 Tucson he has no issue with DOJ stepping in.
I'm in favor of all kinds of observations and watching and taking extra steps to make sure that the elections are fair and honest.
The Democratic chair says she contacted the FBI just last month when she received a letter she felt was threatening. It said,
"You know how we treat traitors." That to me is a direct threat. First of all, they're calling me a traitor. And second, how we have dealt with traitors is by hanging them.
For her to make such a huge deal out of something like that, I'm not so sure is justified.
Pima County Sheriff Chris Nano says the Sheriff's Department will respond to calls from citizens and poll workers should there be a problem.
But I would hope, that our citizens behave themselves and respect the rights of everybody to cast a ballot.
Other voters also tell me that they haven't had any issues coming up at 6 o'clock due to some of the races. It may take a while before the final count is in. You'll hear from voters coming up at 6 o'clock. Reporting live from downtown, Lupita Murillo, News 4 Tucson.